Hey everybody, welcome back to Culz Paranormal Studios and our first extra credit episode in a very long time. But as you guys all know, we recently did that Ghostbusters deep dive episode, and while the official cut was something like 3 hours, we actually talked for well over 6 hours. So we had quite a bit of footage, and quite a bit of it towards the end of the discussion got into just different pop culture talk, video games, movies, TV shows, that kind of stuff, and we thought you guys might enjoy hearing it. It definitely was a kind of fun conversation. We just knew it wasn't right for the Ghostbusters episode, so hey, we figured let's share it as a extra credit episode. So without further ado, I hope you do enjoy.
Alex, no tarot on this.
No.
Anti.
You know how I feel about tarot. Like it's dumb.
Yeah. Mainly because I dug into the history, and me and Grayson had to sit there for like a whole day's worth and listen to it. It was so bad we had to just walk to the park and contemplate playing football for an hour.
Dude, it's just like you. Oh my god!
No, I that stuff's up there with like astrology. Like it's just, hey, let's just make up meanings for whatever we want.
Nothing to do with Ghostbusters. I have a request. I eventually want us to do a deep dive on Jumanji. I'd be so about that.
Or the two movies, or all at the same time.
We're
You know
actually
what, Alex?
going to play the
Alex,
board game
if you're
and
gonna
then
be
do
there,
the deep dive.
If you're going to be there, we can't talk about the book at all.
Can we at least play the game and then like do a deep
No.
dive, play the game?
Have you played the board game? Have you played it?
I didn't know it was a real
You
board
haven't
game.
survived the jungle. You don't know, okay? We're not playing that. I've seen 3 movies about why it's a bad idea.
Well, wait, there's 3 movies about Jumanji? I just thought there was like the 2. No, there is a sequel. Oh shoot, with The Rock. Right? Jumanji 2?
The sequel was actually pretty good.
2 with The Rock.
With Danny DeVito.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then there's going to be another one to finish out the trilogy.
Oh, there's a whole trilogy of Jumanji
Oh, we need to
Of
wrap
the new
that
ones.
films. Nice.
Wait,
Nice.
Zathura wasn't the trilogy?
Oh,
We don't
Zathura
talk-
was
we
good.
don't
I love
talk- we-
Sam
no, no,
Rockwell.
no. We don't talk
Sam
about
Rockwell.
Zathura.
Was it Sam Rockwell? He's in that, right?
Zathura was awful.
Well, I like
Sam
Sam
Tom's
Rockwell.
the third to go get you a juice box. Be out.
I think what
Dumbest line of that
made
entire movie. I
Zathura
hated
so
it so
bad
much.
is that it all took place in just the house, basically, because that was like the space center, the spaceship. Like I get
No.
it, but it was
Sorry.
not nearly as good.
It was not Sam Rockwell. It was Dax Shepard.
It was one of the last times
I-
he was relevant.
I get those two confused because I love them both. I think they're both fantastic. I want to.
Man.
Have they been in a movie together? Let's look it up.
No.
I know Sam Rockwell was in the assassination of Jesse James, though. He did pretty good in that.
And
He was also
Dax
an Iron
Shepard.
Man and liked to dance.
Dax Shepard was in Employee of the Month with Dane Cook. That was the highlight of his career so far.
This is an 81 Honda. How dare you?
Grayson,
I love
Deadpool,
And then I'll build
Wolverine
a snowman
thoughts.
with you.
Kristen Bell. If you're
Uh,
watching this,
It'll be
you're
the only
amazing.
Marvel movie I'm seeing for the rest of my life, most likely. Until either management changes or they actually start making good movies again. But we never really made good movies to begin with.
Wait, what management? What management will change?
I'm sorry.
Or hopefully,
Oh,
will
no,
change?
nothing's coming
Do
down the
I-
pipeline, but I'm just saying if Bob Iger and half of these people
Oh,
get cleaned out of
Disney
house,
management.
I'll start watching it again. But yeah, with Deadpool and Wolverine, that's like the only Marvel movie I'm excited about.
Okay, let's get into this. What movie do you think was bad?
What movie do I think was bad? I can't say
Marvel.
like I hated
Like which
Marvel
Marvel movies?
movie.
Basically everything
Name
after.
A recent one you
Ever.
didn't like. I'm gonna assume the Marvels.
I didn't go see it because I knew I wasn't going to be interested in it.
Okay, so
And-
you've never seen that one.
well,
Let's keep going back. Let's go. Quantum.
the last one that I saw that was a Marvel movie was the Spider-Man
No Way Home.
No Way Home. That was the last one that I saw. At least
You didn't like that?
No, actually, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was pretty good.
That was a fantastic
And-
movie. I agree.
I mean, not like the other ones that I've seen. It seems like quality is
Like which
slipping
one?
at least from hearsay,
Give-
but I
give me
don't
a name.
really.
What's a bad one you've seen recently?
Multiverse
I haven't-
of
well-
Madness.
So I don't feel like that movie
I
was
like
bad.
Multiverse of Madness. I thought
Yeah.
it was not half bad. I thought it was pretty good.
That was poo poo.
I think it was good setup. It was interesting concepts put together. It's a little rushed. I think it could have gone a little more, but I like what they did.
What about
I
Eternals?
think I 100% agree. I think the visuals were great.
Is one of the few that I will agree was just a bad movie.
Which
and
one?
I think that's because Eternals. And I think
I
that's
never saw
because
Eternals.
they tried to do they had gotten to the point they had gotten to by relying on the interconnectedness, on the same universe, all of that.
Of course.
And I feel like the Eternals threw all of that in the shitter and were just like, but what about these people? And not only, see, they fucked up because most of the other ones that were successful, like Shang-Chi, I think that was a great origin story. It was a great one character. It was a great new guy coming in with a couple of other, but mainly him. Eternals, they were like, hey, we want you to care about 10 people now that have been here the whole time and could have stopped every single bad thing that's happened in the other movies, but didn't. And then we were supposed to just be like, yeah, okay, we're on board with this. And then the story was not compelling.
Well, and it's also kind of how, like, take Suicide Squad, what was that, 2016, 17, whatever, how they introduced their characters versus how James Gunn introduced the characters in 2021.
So different.
There's just a proper way to do that if you have, like,
right. If you're going to do multiple
cast.
people and make them care about it, there's a way to do it, and Eternals did not do it. And they left a lot of breadcrumbs that are probably never going to be followed up on now. Like Black Knight isn't going to happen now with Kit Harington. I think they said that's probably not going to be a thing. And I don't even think they're going to go back to Harry Styles as Thanos' brother and all that, like his half-brother that just showed up randomly. And we have hear anybody
Wait, that was in Eternals?
Yeah.
Yep, that was the end credit scene. Patton Oswalt is the little imp guy, the little dwarf that shows up and introduces Harry Styles, Thanos' brother. And then nobody has mentioned since then the giant fucking celestial that's frozen as a statue in the water.
Yes.
I think there was one mention of it on the side of the screen in like She-Hulk when she was looking at something else on the internet. It was such a throwaway. Nobody's ever been like, hey, maybe we should, maybe that, what? No, just okay.
She-Hulk was cringe.
When I know Ant-Man, they canceled Ant-Man 3.
No, they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they
Ant-Man 3's out. Ant-Man 3's out there. It's Quantumania.
Oh, Ant-Man 4, sorry.
Well, so they didn't they just said they're probably not going to forward with a separate one because I guess that one didn't perform the way they wanted it to. But I actually liked Quantumania. I thought it was fine. For what it was just fun.
I think Marvel, outside of hiring the actor they hired, didn't set up the big bad very well because he kept getting beat.
Kang? Not Kang.
Yeah.
Kang?
Kang.
Yeah,
Kang.
I mean,
Kang.
I don't know if Ant-Man was the good choice for the first hero for Kang to fight. Like, of all the ones that could have encountered a Kang variant first.
Well, Sylvie killed Kang first.
Right, yeah, for He Who Remains. But like in a movie setting as the main villain throughout it, it was just an odd choice of person to be like, yeah, Ant-Man kicked his ass. That just doesn't make you a very threatening villain moving forward.
But David, to answer your question, the last movie that I saw wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy or Multiverse of Madness, was Thor: Love and Thunder.
I agree with you there.
It was not my favorite just because it's Taika Waititi being Taika Waititi, and it was just a little too much.
So I will give him credit. I did enjoy Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was great. I loved
Ragnarok. Was great.
Ragnarok was coherent.
I think it was like he was on his best behavior as his first Marvel, and then he got too comfortable and made it too Taika, and that's why he's not doing the next one.
Yeah, they gave him a little bit too much free reign with it. I think it was good to give Thor levity in Ragnarok by bringing him down a little bit, but when it just got to just everything's a joke and everything's not serious and everything is just quirkiness.
See, and that's why Ragnarok was great. It peppered in the jokes enough to make Thor likable, do something new. Like, it was great, but it didn't make him into a joke.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing too. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, let Thor be his own thing without it being Taika Waititi showing off his comedy for 2 hours. He still had a story. Exactly. It was still coherent. It still made sense. And I think the God Butcher is a really cool character from the comics.
Well,
I loved Gore
with Christian Bale. And Christian Bale could have been really good in that role, but I think they really did that character a disservice in that movie.
No, he was neutered. I think, honestly, Gore is such a cool character. He could have been a 2 or 3 kind of overarching Thor villain. Like
Yeah,
have
100%.
gods be getting
yeah.
killed while other stuff is happening, and then lead up to the big showdown between them.
But
It could have been
a whole
Thor's
trilogy.
Thanos, essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Without a doubt.
That could have been what he builds up to. It could have been a whole God Butcher series, different people dying, get attached to a god in 2, and then the third one he gets killed. It's like, oh my god, you know.
Exactly.
That
Like
would-
with the destruction
Don't
of
give us
like
power,
Asgard
everybody.
happening, it gives him it spurns the beginning of the destruction of the gods, because now the pantheon of the Norse mythology has been done away with,
Yeah.
essentially. So
It
it gives him the free
It
reign to
could have
start
been
doing it.
such a huge world building thing. It
Yeah,
could have
it
made
could
the
have been.
Thor movies epic. And instead they're like, let's blow our load in this one movie and add a lot of jokes.
Also, like,
Exactly.
how did we go from Liam Neeson playing Zeus to whatever Russell Crowe was doing?
You know,
'Cause-
Liam Neeson read the script and was like,
Well, he played him in Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans.
yeah.
And he actually like played a good Zeus. And then we get
what's funny is though you say that, but I guarantee Love and Thunder made more money than both of those put together.
Probably, unfortunately.
did it? I thought Love and Thunder lost money.
Well,
I don't think
still
it
made
lost
more than the
money.
movies, those
I don't
two
I don't think
movies.
any of them have lost money. I just don't think they were as uber successful as what they wanted. Marvel movies, I mean, even the Marvels made money. Not a lot, but it made money. And to be honest, I think that movie gets a bad rap for what it is. I think people expected too much of it.
So it made 760 million. Let's see what Clash.
All right, so Thor: Love and Thunder ultimately grossed 750 million.
Clash of the Titans
total
was
profits.
493 by itself. And then Wrath was
So it at least
302.
outclassed.
Yeah.
So it's very close.
But better movie. Here's one now that we can talk Alex.
Mhm.
Acolyte.
Oh Lord, I don't know about that. I'm just.
I'll give it a chance. I think it's trying to be too edgy.
Yeah,
but-
I agree with that.
But that's
I agree
just
with
all
that.
we've seen is the marketing. I mean, I'm not just gonna. I'll give something a chance, at least an episode or two. Like personally, even from somebody who didn't really watch, what was it, Rebels? I loved the
Mhm.
Ahsoka series. I think they did a fantastic job. I don't know. Maybe it's because I didn't watch all those other ones that I was that invested with the characters coming over and everything. I was aware of them, and that was about it. I just thought it was a very interesting take and was another thing to get us away from the Skywalker story.
Yeah, we do need to
Sure.
get away from the Skywalker story. Whoa. What are you
I
doing
mean,
back?
that's fine.
It's fine.
Hey,
His
cool.
liver, he's dead. His liver's gonna be okay.
I'm the
Let me match
Ghostbusters
him. Let me
ghost.
match him.
Grayson, another one that we haven't talked about yet with you. The Superman poster dropped. First look at Superman. What are your thoughts?
I am, from a person who's been burned by WB in their entire DC verse,
The WWB.
I'm excited. But with the suit's fine, everything looks good. I think it has potential to be really good. I am having reservations just because of everything that's happened in the past, especially with Warner Brothers being overly zealous with their control they put on their movies. So I'm hopeful, but I'm not super stoked because I know how this can go.
I would totally agree. I think that they've shown that they can be a little problematic about that. But I do have faith in James Gunn. I enjoyed his Suicide Squad. I thought he did a good job with that. And I've, of course, have loved Guardians of the Galaxy, which was super obscure until he did what he did with those movies. All three of them were very solid. I don't think any of them is bad. He did a really good job of that. And I got to say, I really like the casting so far from what I've seen out of who's going to be in the Superman movie. I think they've done a good job with that. And I feel like James Gunn is somebody that at least takes into account what the fans want. Like he's at least aware of it. He may not always listen to it, but I think he has a better handle on what the public wants versus other people that do movies.
Like Zack
100% agree.
Snyder.
Yeah. So
Wait,
I
you
think,
want Jimmy Olsen? I'm gonna shoot him in the head in the second one.
right? I think that we've at least got a shot of staying true
Pun
to the
intended.
source material.
Yeah, I think James Gunn will be able to bring at least another
No.
good Superman movie out of.
By source material, do you mean eating Japanese food in Japan? Superman?
That's actually 75% of the movie from what I've heard.
Just him flying back and forth for lunch.
It's him and Lois starting a YouTube channel where they review different foods. And
Awesome.
he flies to get it, comes back, and then they just eat it. I mean, it'll still be a better movie than The Flash, so why are we complaining?
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No CGI babies in microwaves.
Yeah, that was a questionable choice for sure.
I love how they go like, oh, it's supposed to be goofy and comic booky. No. It was just.
I mean,
Especially-
if your
Just
comic
funny.
book sucks,
Yeah, but the Flashpoint comic book was really good. And the animated one they did very good. But then they
Yeah.
were like, what if we didn't do it? But we
they
did.
definitely. What I think is interesting is they had such a great shot of bringing in so many past actors that have done parts, so many other worlds,
Mhm.
animated stuff. Like, it could have been awesome.
And they brought George Clooney.
Which would have been cool
At
if
the
they would have
very
kept
end.
I
going.
didn't think it was bad, dude.
No, actually, George
mean,
Clooney
Val-
was.
If Val
He
Kilmer
was
could
at least
talk-
alive. Yeah, no, Val Kilmer, if he could.
Like, I would have loved to have seen Arnold Schwarzenegger show back up as Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Put you on ice.
That would have been hilarious. Or even Danny DeVito's Penguin showing back up. Oh my god, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah, they could have recreated their Oscar moment when they were like, hey, we both got beat up by Batman. Where is he? And then, oh, there he is.
Oscar moment from Twins.
See,
And
and what I
then
think
Michael
I think
Keaton
what the
was like-
problem is at this point, nobody cares about the Flash the way they could. We've never had
especially
other
with
Flash
Ezra
movies where he's
Miller.
got that. Yeah, exactly. Nobody likes Ezra. Nobody has fleshed out Barry's story in any movie universe. He should have had a
don't
regular movie before jumping into Flashpoint.
They don't
Well, I
like
mean, and
Ezra
on top of
because of
that-
Ezra.
Ezra Miller's like acting choices for Barry Allen, making him the quirky,
Nerdy. Yeah.
like the nerd who's not a nerd who like wants to pretend he's a nerd type dude, and you're like, you're not, dude. This isn't jiving with me.
I still
guy.
cannot
I'll be right
fathom
back.
why WB was like, oh,
Okay.
people really like Grant
Bye.
Gustin as the Flash. Let's not put him in the movies.
Right? It's like we don't have money sitting in our hands. We're just gonna do something else.
Yeah. Oh, he's been successful, and he would bring a whole fan, group with him. Nah.
We don't need to do that. Ezra's our boy. He's the one we're gonna bank on. He's not problematic in any way outside of the studio.
We
Not at
love
all.
him. Let's go.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, that was some poor choice on their part.
Yeah, and they said we're not gonna recast him through the Flashpoint sequence. I was like, bold choice, WB. Bold choice.
Now that might have saved that movie,
100%.
or even
Well,
better,
if you don't
he like his first jump, he ends up there where Grant is, and then he fucking gets killed. And then
Yeah.
Grant's the rest of the movie. That's our Flash now. Like, okay, I'm in.
Well, here's my thought even too, like, because he's jumping in between worlds, he does not always have to stay the same, right? So you'd think that because he altered a certain way, he comes back, we still hear Ezra's voice, all this stuff, but then like he's at the court case, he's presenting like the argument and the evidence to release his dad, and then it pans around and it shows Grant Gustin or somebody else, just to be like, and then this is our
shit,
new
everything
Flash.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it keeps you just in that scene. And then when it pans back around, you see his face as somebody different, and then he like doesn't really realize it because he's running late or whatever. And he's not in front of a window
And then like
or a
slowly
mirror
his inner
somehow.
monologue is kind of changing to like the new voice, and people would have been
Exactly.
excited for another one if they would have done that.
Absolutely, but that requires imagination and risk. We can't do that.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a risk. I think that would have been
No, yeah, it's
that
money
would have
in
been the
bank, but
smart thing to do.
We can't prove it on paper and data, so we can't do it.
Yeah, anything would have been. They could have grabbed some dude off the street and be like, "Hey, you're gonna be the Flash now," and I think it would have gone over better than Ezra Miller.
100%.
Can you run real fast though?
They
Doesn't
just-
matter.
We
We
were
got
like a
CG for-
speed
we got
That's
CG for
that's
that.
the audition for the Flash. They just set you up on a track.
Treadmill, yes.
Whoever gets there
They
first.
can't get way up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Keegan should have been Flash.
Really should have been.
I thought you were my agent, David. What happened?
I said you should have been Flash.
I know you tried
I
hard.
tried, man. I fought for you. Apparently, it came down to either bringing back Michael Keaton or putting you in.
I have a World
So
of
what do
Kong
you
book
think?
where Peter Jackson and Weta team went and like explored the entirety of Skull Island, and it goes for like $400 now. But at Borders for like
Lord.
$20.
My God.
My God.
God.
I wish
My
that
God,
was
God,
right through the
man.
table.
My God, King. That's a
David, did you get the Pokeball sign then? Is that what you were doing this week?
I did.
By the original voice cast, right?
Yeah, I got Veronica Taylor, who does Ash Ketchum. She kind of has it in the center. And then I got Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur to all sign it in their colors, around the rest of the ball.
Greyson, we saw Joker's trailer on the big screen.
What'd you think of that?
I mean, I like anything Joker, so.
Fair enough. I mean, I think it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same kind of thing where I'm like, the first one was a really big hit. I'm really worried about what the studio is going to try to force him to do to make this even bigger, if just as big, if not bigger, of a hit.
Well, I'm glad. One thing is Lady Gaga's Harley is not going to be just a kind of carbon copy of the Margot Robbie one.
Yeah.
And that they got someone that can actually sing, because if you're going to make it a musical.
Right? I mean, I'm surprised they still stuck with Joaquin Phoenix for all of his stuff, but he does have like a band and he sings, right?
Well, he did
played
Walk
Johnny
the Line.
Cash, so.
Yeah, he sang Walk the Line. So.
He's a singing boy. He's singing.
So I don't know. I'm also interested to see how Robert Pattinbat's Barry Keegan's Joker does.
Sorry, I'm looking at other stuff. They're wheeling out Don Bluth's carcass to go to a fan expo this year.
Don Bluth's not dead. He's still alive.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's looking rough. He's old.
I know, he's like probably 80, 90 something years old. He's amazing.
Yeah, I don't mean to sound like I'm talking smack on Don Bluth. He's a national treasure, but
okay, can you guys hear me?
That's just got to go to the time at home.
Yeah.
Speaking of Don Bluth, I'm probably going to see him at that expo.
At what expo?
He's going to Dallas Fan Expo.
Okay.
Yeah, next month, I think. All right, so let's see. So we have the nice case here. Oh, yeah, I got to turn off the screen. Hold on, let's see. Otherwise, it's going to look terrible. So here we have the Pokeball case. And then you open it. It's got this nice light and everything here. Take that out. Let's see. So here's Veronica Taylor, who does Ash right here, and she wrote the I Choose You right across the part there. Over here we have Squirtle with the Squirtle Squad glasses added up there in the signature.
Nice.
Here we have Bulbasaur, who put Bulba. That's Tara Sands, I believe her name was, something like that. And then Michael Haley. He's got Charmander over here.
All three starters.
Yeah, I figured that was a fitting, sticking them on there. And the guy who does Squirtle is also the same guy who does Brock. So originally I was gonna get Ash, Misty, Brock, all that, but the lady who plays Misty, I guess, canceled like the week before and wasn't even gonna be there. So I was like, I don't really want to do like Ash and Brock. That's dumb. So I was like, you know what? He does Squirtle too, so let's just do that, and then all three of the starters, and I feel like it's a good enough homage to everybody.
For sure.
But they had like the entire like there was Nurse Joy, Officer Jenny, Giovanni was there. The guy who plays Squirtle is also the original James from Jesse and James. Jesse wasn't there because that was the same person who did Misty. I had no idea that Brock and Misty were also Jesse and James. Like for that whole first couple of seasons and stuff, it was them in the movies and everything. The guy who did the original Meowth was there. Like there was a ton of them, and then they had like the original Yu-Gi-Oh cast was all there. So it was crazy.
Did you find Bigfoot?
No, that's in Minnesota. That's not till that's 2 weeks from now.
I was so confused.
Yeah, he was signing. He was at one of the tables. It was actually like, $50 for a picture with Bigfoot.
Right. But until next time, Greyson, if people want to find you, find your art, find anything, what can they do?
You can see me at gray.bay on Instagram. That's pretty much all of where I post to. So, yeah.
Grayson's a great artist. Go check it out. Alex, you're working on a game. What else can they find out about you?
Oh shoot. I have my own personal Instagram and crap. I mean, there's really not much on me aside from that. Like, I mean, there's like my Facebook page or whatever. I mean, I'm not like some celebrity or whatever out there. I really
And
have
my
nothing
phone
like
number
that.
is
8675309. You can go to like tempest84.com for the game that I'm working on. That's about it. Other than that, like I just have a bunch of personal social medias that it's not really important. Hope you edit that well, please.
I'm just gonna put your Instagram like handle really big on the screen, flashing.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Instagram, YouTube, David, where can people find you and find your awesome videos?
Yeah, if you like seeing cool, weird stuff out in the world, ghost stuff, paranormal stuff, theme park stuff, just interesting places to check out that you probably have never been, come check us out on Abnormal Voyages. Come tag along on some of our adventures. Take you to some cool places, meet some quirky folks, and have a good time over there. YouTube.com/Abnormal Voyages. Google us up. It'll bring everything up. Search it on YouTube. Instagram, same handle, Abnormal Voyages. And yeah, we'll see you on the road.
Ooh, subscribing now.